Hello, my name is Dominic Underhallhouse and welcome to another episode of Moonbreaker. In today's video, we're going to be looking at making an Astra list, and this is partially based on suggestion from the Discord. So originally the suggestion was going to be make the worst Astra list possible and see if we can still win games with it. However, when I was putting the list together, the amount of even attack that we had in the list was so low that I'm not sure we could have even managed it with that list, as much as we're trying to demonstrate how Astra is a little bit overpowered at the moment. I might try it again shortly, see if we can get some success, and if we do off camera, I might try it again on camera. But for now, I've come up with a slightly different idea, and it's trying Money Astra, and this is going for the most expensive units in the entire game. So this is going to be the most expensive list you can field. We've got every single 6 cost and every single 5 cost, and we've got 1 slot left for a 4 cost unit. So what I was going to do is just the last selection on camera, because this is the only one we actually get a choice on, is to have a look and see which 4 costs we can pick. So we've got everything from Amplifier Bytold down to the bottom of the list. There's a couple here that I'm considering. So Broken Vengeance is just a very powerful unit, does a good amount of damage, is fairly consistent. However, we've got a good amount of range damage on that front as well. We've got Taurian Guardian, who's just one of my favourite units, very defensive, protective, keep us sort of in place there. But again, I'm not sure that that's... I'm not sure it's necessary. We've got a lot of range things. It does help us sort of buy time a bit, but what I think I'm going to go for is everyone's favourite, Tipu. So the reason I'm going to go for Tipu is Tipu synergizes well with Astra anyway, and to give us a chance in these games, Tipu is something that can stack up over time, can take over the game, and sort of bring us back from situations that we might otherwise be losing in. So looking at the rest of these, we've got things like Quetzalli. Somewhere here we've got, was it Nekahall in there somewhere? Quetzalli. No, it's not Nekahall, is it? It's Tona Mystic Manteo is who we had as well, that was it. And so there's all these options that are just... They're not very impactful. So what we need to do is find a way of making sure that we've got as much impact as possible. So for our 4-drop, we'll go for our tiny little Tipu friend. We've chosen gold and purple as our money colour scheme. And now it's time to just jump into some games and see if we can... in fact, this is a very similar colour scheme there. Where's our... There you go, it's actually very similar. Tipu Smash and Money Astra. We've nearly gone identical on our banners there. This is why I'm looking forward to getting new banner options. I know it's really not that big of a deal, but I'm actually about as excited for some of the banner options as I are for some of the paints, because I just like the idea of having a lot of differentiation there. So, sorry, what we're going to be looking at doing is basically just playing for the late game. So we're never going to make an aggressive move early on. We're going to be running at every single opportunity, especially from Exilio. If they play a Quetzalli, there's a good chance we just lose here. What we want to see is, I was going to say Tipu, because there is a world in which we can play Tipu on turn 2. Orbital Strike and Stasis Field give us options to sort of last that a little bit longer, so I think this is what we're going to do here. So, what we're hoping to do first is basically to reduce the cost of Tipu and potentially be able to play him turn 2. Other than that, we want to reduce the cost of Aegis Sentinel. Either way, we just boost morale, see what happens. It was Tipu, which is good. Here, I'm still going to move away. I don't want them knowing that we've got Tipu here. And I'm actually just probably not playing Tipu into the open next turn because it makes him vulnerable. I want to save Tipu for an into the breach turn. So we're going to play Ring Around the Rosy with the big impassable terrain in the middle here, and basically try and just keep Extilior away from us as much as possible. If we can keep moving round one, he moves around the other, we get 1 damage off each time. It's not a solid strategy, but it's definitely one that's got possibilities here. Okay, so they're playing safe as well. This again makes me want to boost morale. It's got Tipu down to 0, which is even better, because what that means is that we can then just take our time and actually just not need to worry about placing him. And what we're going to do is, similar to our fortress list that we played previously, I'm going to slowly start moving up to this location and see if we can get our static defences like the Sentinel set up in this area. The reason for that is I feel like with only 1 bit of hard cover, this gives us a lot of angles onto the rest of the battlefield, so we can start actually setting up something, fairly consistently safe, and without them having Plink or Orbital or something like that, it's a little bit better for us. Okay, so they've got Snareling coming down. Snareling is always a threat, but that's fine. I believe Boost Morale doesn't go onto a unit that's already 0 cost if it can avoid it, so let's have a look at that. That is correct, perfect. And we just keep on running away. So we've got 7 Cinder next turn, so we can play the Sentinel no matter what. And I think that's probably what we do. So in the meantime, we're just going to move over here. My apologies for that brief interruption there. I just had to go and sneeze and blow my nose, so I didn't think you guys particularly wanted to hear that. We didn't get immobilized, so that's good. Move over here, continue to boost morale. Unfortunately, it's still Aegys Sentinel that we're going to end up playing, but we'll play this probably around here to get good angles on it. And we're just going to stick an orbital strike down on all 3 units. So this is Aria, not Taria, so their movement does make it pretty awkward, so I'm actually just going to stun Exterior here. And then what we're going to hope to do is activate this, or maybe activate Astra, and then find a way in on Snareling next turn using Tipu. So that's going to be our game plan from that point. So we don't mind if Snareling goes up here. If he immobilizes this, it doesn't matter, because it's immobile anyway. We've got armor. So we're just using this sort of cooldown here. This is the only thing that really matters this turn. What we want them to is move out here and go for Astra. Yeah, so we'll take 1 damage here, but that then kills Aria on the back crack. Especially if they move over here into an angle, we can get both. There we go, perfect. Yeah, so there they were just hoping for a crit. I'm not sure whether I'd have gone for the Astra and hoped... Ooh, they got the stun. Okay. So that changes things slightly, but not too much. It does mean that we're just going to play our defense dome out back here, create this fortress again, and just probably flechette Aria this time, because we don't care as much about Snareling dealing 0 damage, and Exterior can't get in range of us. They have got one more thing to play, so there might be an argument for sending things down this way. Yeah, there is, absolutely. So this is a sort of a situational decision. So we can actually hit all 3 units if we go that way. We can hit 2 if we go that way. If we could hit 3, and if there was a chance we could hit Snareling as well, I'd have gone for that. So the interesting thing is this doesn't actually take anything out, it just deals more damage for the Cinder. But I think in this situation, I mean, Snareling is not that relevant, and we can just do it again next turn. So I think taking a unit out is more useful here. And what we'll do is we'll play our defense dome here. We can't use any of these abilities, and we still want to save Tipu here. So I think this is the right choice. It doesn't do as much damage, but it reduces the incoming damage essentially to 2 on this and 0 otherwise. And then next turn we can still kill Snareling. We can start, making some progress in terms of board state versus our opponent. Again, we've come up against another level 0 opponent, so they may not be used to sort of the positioning side of things yet. And what we've tried to do here, Maximus is always useful, is we've tried to set up a little wall here to make it harder for them to come around to what we need to be hitting. If anything, next turn, I actually think I'm probably going to move our defense dome up this way slightly to try and block off a little bit more terrain if they don't move around. But yeah, I thought moving around is quite likely, because I actually think, okay, that's fine. But yeah, I think we positioned fairly badly there. Them getting that crit is actually a big deal, because otherwise we wouldn't have taken any damage. So this is likely to still be something we Tipu and Astra together. Yeah, this is fine, because what we're going to do is we can play Tipu into the breach range here, which should then be able to reach over here. And then if we get the Astra hit for the final one, we also get to draw, reinforce as well. If it's in the new version, we'd be able to move again. Okay, so we already have a free Tipu. So I believe the range is about here. That looks to be it. We will into the breach Tipu. We will get this attack in, try and get a free reinforce. Come on, it's a good chance we do. Yes, there we go, excellent. And that gives us something to boost morale as well. It's Micoani Thicket, so we have also got another big unit to come. This is a perfect flechette. So it gets all of the enemy units here. And I don't think we're in any particular rush to do things here. Because Jailbreak can fly, or airborne, it's kind of dubious as to where we put this anyway, so I actually think we just move it so that everyone's in range rather than try and do anything too fancy. And we're going to be trying to sort of find situations where we can grow Tipu from here, because this situation at the front lines with our Sentinel, I think we're pretty well pretty well defended here. I've actually had a lot of success recently with static defenses, and it's almost to the point where I'm considering, do I just start bringing them in real lists? Okay, so we've got double Tipu now. I think this is an issue from our opponent, because they've got no Cinder left, and what we're actually going to do is we're going to Flechette in this direction, and then we're going to bring Tipu over here to just kill their Tipu. And I think that's where the game just starts rolling out of control for them here. So this we're not too worried about. We've got reduced damage here. Maximus dealt 0 damage, doesn't even get to move, which is, and again, so he's got the initial move. This is not good positioning, because we can just Flechette all 3 of these and then kill the Tipu. So I feel like this is going to go very swiftly in our favour. They can obviously play something here, but if I were them, I'd be trying to block in Tipu. Oh, Disruptor Beam, okay. That doesn't change anything, I don't think, really. So we're just going to Flechette all of these. We're going to move Tipu in here and get a big hit. I know we're very close to killing their Extilior, but I feel like at this point in time, we're better off just trying to gradually deal with what's already on the battlefield. So is this in... This is not in base contact, so we still have a good attack here. In fact, we could have actually killed it. I didn't think that through. But what we're actually going to do is just play Micoani Thicket here, give it into the breach, and just encroach on Extilior a little bit. Astra can just move over here. So now we're in a very safe position. We've got Orbital next turn. The chances of them being able to deal with us from here is very slim. The only thing that even really takes damage is our Defense Dome. And yeah, we found ourselves in a position where it's going to be really hard for them to come back. Yep, so that's the only thing that really takes damage. If they hit Astra, it'll only be for 1. They can't really go for the Thicket. The Thicket can pull them back. Tipu's got 5 attack now. So on its own, Tipu can actually just kill Extilior. If they go for a melee attack here, this is just game over, I think. They're not in range of a melee attack. So if they move and hit, we hit them back for 5, they take 4 of it, and then just 1 more hit, they die. Yeah, so I think we just go for the big hit first. We'll smash our own units, and then just Orbital as well, because we can. And we don't mind injuring Tipu, he's a big boy, he can take it. He's the goodest boy. Excellent. So that was a good game. We had a bit of like sort of positional advantage. That Flechette was doing really well. And the scary thing is, Astra didn't even feel disadvantaged when we were playing literally the most expensive list you can in PvP. So we're going to give it another go. I think Tipu, again, is the right choice. We're not here trying to sort of cripple ourselves. We're trying to give ourselves a disadvantage. So having the ability to, still have a good 4-drop. Tipu is a useful unit. It grows, it's good with Into the Breach, and it can start taking over a game, and that's what we put it in the list for. If it was Taurian Guardian, I think that game would have been a lot less effective. It would have been, I think, the same conclusion, but it would have just taken a lot longer to get there. Okay, so this is immediately a concern. Tipu is our saving grace yet again, and we are against Zax. So, in this list, Escape Hatch seems nuts. Because Escape Hatch probably gives us 5 Cinder for free every 3 turns, pretty much. So what's in our bridge? At the moment, it would give us a Defense Dome. Depending on what Astra buffs, actually. So we've taken a hit. So they've got a Maximus. Yeah. So we're going to do the exact opposite of them. We will take our pot shot first, and then we'll move out of the way. And we'll also boost morale. It's Tipu again. See, Tipu being MVP here. So the good thing about it being Tipu is it means we save more Cinder with our Escape Hatch. So next turn I wouldn't actually mind if it was the Defense Dome that got buffed, and then the following turn have a 50-50 at bringing down Switchback. Yeah, this is fine. So again, here, we're probably just going to move back slightly into this little niche. Actually, if they don't have line of sight here, we just stay here. Again, okay, Rickety, at least that can kill itself. And we've got our orbital, so the turn it does attack and hit itself, we can just deal with it. So let's boost morale. It was Switchback, that's good. If it was going to be something other than... Basically, Switchback is one of the better options because it's just consistently we can actually just play it. So I think here we just take our shot. Oh, the crit is so important here because that actually just means that they can't guarantee that they live next turn either with Rickety, and if they don't, do that. Oh, that's an awful noise from Rickety. It sounds like some of the noises I make. But if they can't deal with anything with Rickety next turn or shoot anything, so they've got line of sight, they could kill themselves, but we've also got a guaranteed kill with Orbital when we need it. So that crit was a big deal here. They're just going to have to go for a deal 3 and probably kill yourself. They didn't even deal 3. That was about best case scenario for us. We managed to get some damage done with one hit, and he didn't even have any disadvantage there. Rickety just killed itself. Okay, so they're playing Beatrice. So Beatrice being slow means that we probably want to start moving in this direction to set up our little fortress here. So we'll just go for a hit. We missed anyway, that's fine. I think looking at our bridge, we actually want to escape hatch first, because if we reduce the cost of Quetzalli, that's not what we want to play regardless. So we'll escape hatch the defense dome. Maximus now doesn't do anything. And then we're going to bring in... Oh yeah, boost morale first. There we go. Do you know what? It being Switchback as well is brutal, because we can actually bring Switchback in here into the breach it, get a 90% shot off a Maximus. Oh no, we missed. Given that we missed, I actually think we run over here. So we missed the 1 in 10. But this is a safer position. It forces them in 2 different directions. So Maximus can come over here and damage us, but then they're going to have to sort of bring themselves into this little kill box in the middle, and we can orbital next turn. So they're probably torn here between taking out Switchback, which is our damage, and taking out the defense dome, which is going to be reducing all their damage moving forward, because next turn we can actually just move back into defensive range. So if I were them, I think I'd still be doing Switchback, but only if I felt like I had a way to... Ooh, that crit probably makes a difference. Yeah, so only if I felt like I had a way to then follow up from that point. So I think my plan here is probably going to be to just move up with everything into sort of this sort of area, get the Switchback hit off here, keep out of range of things so that Switchback can be safe from a backswing, and then use our orbital to take out Maximus, because what I want to do is actually save our Cinder to potentially... Oh, even, in fact, I've changed my mind, because we might have a better use for Switchback here. So we're going to move up to, say, here. Can we boost morale and still guarantee this? No, we can't. Okay, so we're going to play Tipu on the edge of Astra's speedy circle. We'll get our orbital in. We'll speedy circle Tipu and start growing. And then we can actually use Switchback here. Again, try and keep safe from Zax. And we can just deal a couple of damage over here. We can actually move the defense dome to potentially cover all 3. There we go. And Astra just... There's a 9%... So it looks here that we've got 86% chance and 37. Because this has got armor, we've actually got a 9% chance. There we go. Gotta win. Excellent. So I'm going to see if I can fit in one more game here quickly and see what we can do. But it turns out Astra's pretty good. Like this, if anything, demonstrates how absurd it is that Astra exists in the current form. And I've thought Astra was very strong. I thought it needed some tweaks, but this is convincing me quite how how drastic it gets. We're playing against opponents playing 1 drops and 2 drops, and we're keeping up with them in terms of tempo just by boosting morale a couple of turns and playing something bigger. Okay, so this is a difficult one. This is another escape hatch if we find it. We're against Ixtalil, so I actually think Cinder Infusion and Stim Burst probably what we want, because running away is really good. And I like escape hatch, but I think here we're going to want to be having a bit more choice over things. So we want to be able to pick what's good against Ixtalia at different points in time. For instance, Micoani Thicket, not often as useful. However, if they play the right units, it is useful. Defense Dome, less useful. If they play Maximus into, I don't know, something else that deals 1 damage or another rapid fire unit, again, useful. So let's boost morale. This is our first time not having Tipu, so let's see how big of a difference that makes. And I think what we're going to actually try and do, and this is a really bizarre approach, is that we're actually going to try and rotate around the board to get to their starting position and then set up a little defensive spot there. So we can't quite make it all the way over where we want to, but this reduces the rush distance if they need to. Okay, so they've got their Maximus. We are absolutely going to stim burst here and just move as far over here as we can get. We've got a 1% shot over here, so let's just take it. Oh, sorry, 1% reduction, 45% shot. We'll boost morale. So we do have a unit we could play. Oh no, we could play before we actually spent that Cinder. So again, we're going to be just shooing them over here. Next turn we're going to have 6 Cinder. That crit was actually quite brutal. I think we actually do play the Defense Dome next turn and just go for the safety play. Because it can move and we don't need to set up shop like we do with the Bulwark, I think we actually just go for that. So let's boost morale. It was Thicket, which isn't bad anyway. Get our pot shot off. And then here, we just play our Defense Dome as far back as we can. In fact, we might as well Cinder Infusion. It's still going to be Defense Dome here. And just take that defensive line, make it so they have to crit us to deal any damage. So we've got 7 Cinder next turn, which means we're probably, well, absolutely playing one of these two. And again, we just get to rely on our bigger things. So Maximus here is going to get potentially 0 damage if he pops out. But if he pops out, we can poke him. This is one where I do kind of wish we had like an Orbital or something like that, or maybe a Florio in our list. Because, oh no, we do have Florio, sorry. Yeah, Florio now in our bridge then. Is this Jailbreak? Ooh, Tipu is terrifying. Okay, so we're going to have to find a way to get away from Tipu. Which, you know, it's not going to be the easiest thing to do. He's going to keep growing, so we need to actually put some real power down on the battlefield. Depending on what we reduce in cost, we could... They got the crit, no! That was such a risk from them, and they managed to pull it off. Are we in... Okay, for a second then I thought that was a jailbreak, and I was going to be in a lot of trouble here. So we've got a 100% chance to hit here. We do need to basically keep on moving back. So I don't think we can actually get out of range from Tipu here unless we go this way, and that's not where we want to be. So we're going to pop around this corner. We're going to pop the Defense Dome in front. Boost morale. See what we get. It was the Bulwark, so... I actually think I've done this wrong. I should have played Micoani Thicket, hit Tipu, and then done it that way. But let's just play the Bulwark here. And just into the breach it. And get our damage up onto Tipu, lining it up for killing it next turn. Okay, so... Again, I think I've misplayed there, because if I'd played Thicket, I could have just hit Tipu and then Astra'd it to death, and then still drawn another unit. So I think that was definitely a mistake. With Tipu hitting something this turn, it's going to grow, so it does leave us in a similar situation. Yep, this is the only right choice for Maximus, then run and hide again. Luckily we can reduce Micoani Thicket next turn guaranteed, so with 5 Cinder, we basically go to casting out for 3 and still get the haste. So, the way that this situation looks, I actually think we're not in too bad of a spot. This is something that we don't want to die, but if this means we get to kill Tipu, then absolutely, because we get to draw another unit, potentially play something like a Florio and start really shoring up our defences here. Oh, interesting. Yes, they can actually kill this now. Oh, not quite. They're not quite in range. So our Bulwark's actually going to be in danger. It's going to be left here alone, basically, from here on out. Yep. Oh, no, they got the shield on Tipu. So now we absolutely... Yep. Okay, we're in trouble. I think this might be a loss here. We need a crit to kill this, so... I still think this is our right play, because if we get a crit on either of these, it makes a big difference. We did not get the crit there. 10% chance of getting the big crit. We didn't. That's fine. So we'll boost morale. Play Micoani Thicket. Give it into the breach. Kill here. Oh no, we blocked ourselves off. So, okay, I believe if I move to here, I should be better off next turn. We're in a lot of trouble. I didn't place these properly at all. I should have really been a lot more careful. So, I'm not sure my best route for me. I think maybe, again, I should have done Micoani Thicket first, attack with Astra just to get the guaranteed draw. But I was more concerned of trying to split up my damage, and I think that was a mistake. So here they pull Exterior. He's going to get 5 damage. Oh no, he's not going for Astra. I'm not sure where I would have gone here, actually. This is a difficult spot for them slightly. Not overly, but slightly. So if we can get onto Maximus... Yeah, I think we're probably going to be trying to use Micoani Thicket to pull Maximus in and kill him that way with Astra. What have they got? Snarling. So everything is going to get additional movement. We are going to move over here because this helps protect our Astra in the back. Trap our prey. Come on. There we go. Hit it. Hop over here. Shoot. We missed. Of course we missed. So we have to go for this. So we have got Switchback. We can still boost morale, heal ourselves slightly, but we're in a dangerous spot here. The issue is that they've almost got a guaranteed kill on everything that we have apart from Astra. So here they can just spin first is the ideal route. Yeah, I was going to say I don't think it hits Astra. They can hit here. Oh no, because this reduces damage, so we're not completely out yet. But if Snarling can get the snare onto Astra, I think that's probably GG, apart from maybe just trying to bring out Switchback and killing something. If this misses, we can kill Snarling on the backswing, which is good for us, but they have a lot of longevity. So they've got 50% of snaring us, which we obviously don't want to be the case. Do we have things that can... Did they get that crit? That had armor! No! Oh, I have to be sad now. Okay, so I don't know what we draw to get out of this. Tipu, Sentinel... I mean, Sentinel's decent. It just gets some more damage in, I guess. So they've got 6 life left, so... Okay, the problem here is that I can't get away enough. So this doesn't have any reduction to hit on Snarling. So we're going to play Switchback here, into the breach here, use the traditional combo that everyone loves. If we hit both of these... of course. I think that is probably GG at this point. We're going to have to move around here. We needed to hit both of those and get the extra draw, get a chance at pulling something out of our hat, but it didn't go to plan. Funnily enough, Quetzalli could actually save us here if it came to it. Now it can't. Jailbreak's here to play. Yeah, this is all... In fact, I mean, there are still routes in which we can kill something here. Like, not likely, but possible. Like, we could, again, crit Jailbreak would work. We can draw something, play it. Yeah, Snarling's over there. We have got Stim Burst as well. So we're not out of this, but we're not in a good spot. Like we're almost definitely dead. They've got almost enough damage to kill us in over 2 turns, I think. So give ourselves some movement. Move over here. So the reason I'm going to do it this way is because if either of these get a crit, they're... Okay, well this is just not our game. So now we have to reinforce first. It could buy us some time. I actually think we don't want to use our attack on any of these. We'll just play Tona. Tona. Tona can just go over here as far into the corner as possible. And we're going to just gain a bunch of health back. Again, they can kill Switchback, yeah. They can kill Tona. But that might have just bought us another turn, which we did not deserve by any means. I mean, Tona living just one more turn is a huge deal. Have they got anything that deals... Have they got Scattervine? Okay, Tlali. That miss is huge. We can kill here and potentially gain a bunch of Cinder. Gain a bunch of health back. So we need to reinforce. It needs to be something good. Tipu's a great draw. So we boost morale Tipu. We're going to play Tipu here. Into the breach. We hit here first, because then we can get Astra for the reinforce. Get another unit. Florio Lancer. Cinder Infusion. We're not out of this. I mean, we're basically out of this, but we're not technically out of this. Tona saving the day again. Like, this isn't entirely impossible that we're not out of this. We're not in a good spot, but we can bombard with Florio next turn. So they've got 5, 7, 8 damage onto Astra here, but we've got Stimburst next turn. So we can actually run away. We need to kill Crankbait is the issue. Yeah, so if they play Crankbait over here, that's good for us. Because we actually want to be able to kill Crankbait. So they've got 4... Okay, so they're just going for the hits, yeah. Okay, is there a route for us to live here? Now, probably not. Now we're probably just dead, unless we do some good move blocking, which is an option. So we're probably actually going to be using Stimburst straight away. In fact, no, because we want to... Does Florio do it, or is there something that does it better here? Sentinel, Furia, Quetzalli. I think we reinforce. Okay, Sentinel. Let's boost morale. Whatever we choose here, it is Florio. That's awkward. We didn't want it to be Florio, so... Yeah, I think that was actually a mistake. Because it's going to cost... Yeah, we've actually messed this up slightly. So, what I can do here is move over this way. This doesn't still have pummel, does it? So, we'd essentially take 2, gain 1, go to 4. We could go here and just do a bunch of damage. We take... This needs to block this. So I don't think there's anything we should do apart from just do this. And move Tipu to about... I want to say here. And then bring Aegys Sentinel down about here. So I believe this makes it... Oh no, because they've got... Yeah, I think this is just a bit too much. I think we needed to move Tipu just a bit down here. I think this was a too much of a risk. It was worth a try. Tona nearly got us back into this. But I don't think without any other ways of healing that we can really keep up with this. We don't have quite enough movement or move blocking. You know, Jailbreak is probably going to actually be what kills us. But we can get a big attack up this way if we need to. Yeah, they spin first, then attack. That kills Tipu. If only they had a way of missing there. Our other option is actually just wall ourselves in the corner. Oh, okay, no, that kills us. Yeah, there's no way we're not dead now. If they can just spend 4 Cinder, which we know that they've got the ability... Yeah, no, they can spend 4 Cinder here and just give this pummel, and they can just kill us. So this is all fine. I'm happy to lose here. That was a fun game. We nearly came back into it. The crit from that as well, why not? Just for good measure. And we are happy to lose here. So, I wish there was a sort of option to play, you press GG or something equivalent just before we go, but all in all, I think, if anything, even that game demonstrates how ridiculous it is that Astra can compete at that level when still having absolutely no early drops whatsoever. I've honestly, another one, I keep saying it every game, I really enjoyed it, but I genuinely do really enjoy these games. Thank you very much for watching. If you've got any comments, feedback, or anything, just let me know. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. It really does improve my mood, give me a little bit of a boost. I absolutely love seeing the notification. I check it every single day. So please do that if it's something you'd be interested in. And other than that, have a good day.